Everyone thinks that IT industry, we're doing very well and $118 billion business we're making and all that. But I am seeing a lot of frustrating things. If you don't address them, then it will become a problem both for the software industry as well as the IT electronic manufacturing industry. So I want to only bring those issues so that the government which is going to form after May 16th will look into those issues and try to resolve those issues, because IT industry has created a lot of employment opportunities and wealth creation for the last 20 years. Coming to first IT services industry, no doubt it has come a long way from exporting mere techno coolies to countries like USA and Europe to building multinational brands who are doing a great thing for the country and creating a lot of employment opportunities and economic activities within the country and outside the country. Though we started with cost arbitrage, today we moved from cost arbitrage to technology arbitrage, innovation arbitrage, and IP arbitrage. Because of that, still we are able to hold the platform that Indian IT services industry is one of the best in the entire globe. But when the complexity of the IT services industry has gone beyond doing mere porting jobs and testing jobs, a lot of people are building IP embedded within the services and try to provide the total solution. The complexity has gone up like anything. The raw material for that industry is going down. In fact, when we started the STPI scheme in 1985, I was the founding director for the STPI in Bangalore. Those days, IITians and people from RICs were available, and not too many jobs were there. And those jobs were also very rudimentary IT services jobs. Today, just opposite direction. We have very complex jobs where people are expected to do a lot of, build a lot of complex solutions from day one, whereas our engineering education, most of the engineering colleges in the country, I mean, pathetically, the quality is going down. In fact, somebody was telling that it is better to hire people from Manila or some other countries rather than, employing because we are seeing ourselves in talent sprint. Whenever we get people from the engineering colleges, local engineering colleges, they don't know anything about engineering. At best, probably they know a little bit about communication skills. When you ask them to write a simple application in any given language, they are not able to do. I don't know what is happening in the engineering education. If that continues, Muralidhar ji and Arvind Gupta ji, we will not be able to scale up, we will not be able to do what we are doing. Maybe our companies may still do. They will go to Czechoslovakia, they will go to China, they will go to other countries. But what happens to our 1.3 billion population without jobs if we are not able to employ our own engineers in the country? That's going to become a disaster. Already we are seeing a lot of people applying for even constable jobs. Recently, some IPS officer was telling there are some constable, excise constable jobs, and hundreds of engineers have applied for those few constable jobs. So that itself indicates what kind of quality of those engineers who are not able to get employment in the IT industry or any engineering industry. And this is a very serious problem. We need to bring very drastic engineering education reforms in the country. Maybe we have to dismantle AICT, dismantle whatever this thing, introduce maybe honors degree or whatever. I think we need to come out with a kind of evaluation system. Everybody gets 80%, 70%, but there is no quality there. I think this is a major issue which I am seeing. If you don't address this, I think companies may do well, but our employment potential will come down drastically. The other issue which I want to bring it to your notice is many startup companies, not only a startup, even established companies are facing lots of problems with the transfer pricing issue. Every now and then they get some officer, this thing, they say, no, transfer pricing is not this, you have to, it is 30% or 40%, otherwise you pay something. All this kind of harassment is happening. And in fact, one of my friends is sitting here. When I visited his company in high-tech city, he was telling those days before he sold that company to some multinational company, Jay, I am planning to move to China from Hyderabad operations. I asked him, what is the reason? He said, not because the quality of this thing, because of the harassment of the transfer pricing issues. And we can't bear this kind of harassment with the limited resources that we have. I think we need to address this also immediately, otherwise it will become a problem. The third issue, today there is no level playing field for a small startup IT services company. Whereas big IT services company, they can create their own SEZ, they can have all the tax holidays and all that. Whereas, for example, when we started Portal Player, we just took one residential house in Prashash Nagar, and we were able to get all the tax holidays, all the ecosystem benefits, and we could build the world-class, the silicon chip, which went into Apple iPad infrastructure. Today, I don't think I can build that, because there is no level playing field for a small startup. I can sit in my home and get all the tax incentives, because of the low-cost startup companies cannot afford to go to SEZs, cannot afford to have this kind of a transportation cost and all that thing. Unfortunately, the government sitting in Delhi, they don't realize this thing. Always they keep giving the benefits to bigger companies, more and more benefits to them, rather than looking at the problems of these small companies who are STPI approved companies. So this is another important thing which I wanted to bring to your notice. That's as far as the software services industry is concerned. But if you come to the products, technology, IT technology products, of late from Bangalore, Pune, Hyderabad, the ecosystem is creating opportunities for a lot of startup companies to think about ideating something and coming out with the products, and they're able to, some of them are able to succeed. But still, there are a lot of lacunas there. For example, though we have the angel investors and the venture capitalists, but idea stage, even angel investor is not looking at the people when they are at idea stage. I think that's where, again, Government of India, they have to create a sufficient ecosystem where they can help them. Then coming to, suppose somebody gets some angel finance for a small startup product company, but when he has got a prototype, when he goes for further growth fund, the VCs are not willing to give them, because their system of financing is, they are changing the models. So growth stage, we need to create some kind of a soft loan, like NSDC, they provide the soft loan for the training companies. For example, we received, Talent Sprint received about 12 crores as a soft loan from NSDC. Already the structure is available. The same structure could be extended to the small software product companies, so that many more, you can create a real true Silicon Valley within the country, because there are a lot of people wants to get out of the companies and start their own products. So that ecosystem is definitely required to encourage the startup companies, particularly the information technology area.